"Just sign it," she said, her voice steady, rehearsed. The kind of calm that comes only when a person has already decided you're finished. Susan sat across from me, her power attorney by her side. A man in an overpriced suit who kept his eyes low, as if even he didn't fully believe what they were doing was right. The papers were spread on the mahogany table like a declaration of war dressed in legal ink. Divorce settlement, property transfer, account separation. All of it, one neat package of betrayal. Her hand trembled slightly as she pushed the pen toward me. "Let's make this easy, Michael. Easy." I looked at her, my wife of 12 years, the woman who once laughed into my chest when life was simpler, before she learned how to fake love with the same precision she applied mascara. I could have argued, begged, exploded, but I didn't. I signed every page, quietly, carefully, like a man writing his own obituary. And then I left. No words, no scene, no closure. But she didn't know. That signature wasn't surrender. It was ignition. We met at a time I thought loyalty still meant something. She was magnetic, unpredictable, the kind of woman who could turn an argument into foreplay and a promise into a weapon. I loved her recklessness because I mistook it for passion. She loved my calm because she mistook it for weakness. The first crack appeared when she started working late. A real estate agent who suddenly had night showings every weekend. I didn't question it. I trusted her. Until one night, her phone lit up on the counter while she showered. "See you tonight. Bring the blue dress." Not from a client, from her business partner. The same one she insisted was just a friend. I didn't confront her. Not yet. I just learned, observed, collected. I became the quiet shadow in my own marriage. Every transaction, every meeting, every whisper, I traced them all. She was siphoning assets, rerouting funds from our joint investments to accounts in her name. And she wasn't doing it alone. The man beside her today, the attorney, was the architect of it all. So when she said, "Just sign it," she thought she'd already won. But by then, I had already buried my revenge in ink and legality. A year earlier, I had transferred ownership of our most valuable properties, the lake house, the condos, the firm, into a trust. A trust that required dual authorization to modify. She didn't know that when she signed the joint setup, she gave me control disguised as equality. And the man she trusted, her lawyer, was unknowingly helping me build my case. Every time he emailed her strategy from his firm account, it went through my proxy server. Every call she made from her phone recorded through the mirrored line I installed when we upgraded her car Bluetooth. I wasn't reacting, I was documenting. The night before she handed me those papers, I sent an anonymous envelope to her attorney. Inside, a summary of his own client's digital trail. Offshore transfers, unreported assets, a romantic relationship with a married client. Her. I didn't sign the note, didn't need to. So when I left that meeting, calm as a monk, I knew what was coming. The next morning my phone buzzed. Unknown number. I answered. A whisper? "Mr. Grant? This is Susan's attorney." He hesitated. I could hear panic bleeding through his tone. "I ran a background check on you last night. I had to." He swallowed. "Susan, who did you marry?" Then the line went dead. That was the moment I knew the trap had closed. He found what I wanted him to find, my real name. Or rather, the one before Michael Grant. The one tied to sealed military files, intelligence contracts, and a career built around making people disappear, not in violence, but in silence. I'd spent years in covert financial forensics before I walked away and built a clean life, or so Susan thought. Now he knew he'd been tampering with the wrong man's money. Within 48 hours, his firm froze her accounts, pending investigation. Her offshore funds evaporated, her credit lines revoked. Even her real estate license was suspended when the regulatory board received the anonymous tip that she'd been falsifying appraisals for personal gain. Every domino fell exactly on schedule. She called me once. I let it ring. Then she texted just 2 words. You knew. I typed back, from the beginning, and then blocked her number. A week later, I stood at the pier near the lake house, the one she thought she owned. She arrived uninvited, rage painted across her face. "You ruined me!" she screamed, stepping closer, wind snapping her hair across her cheeks. "No," I said, calm. "You ruined yourself. I just documented the evidence." Her voice broke. "You planned this? All along?" I nodded once. "From the moment you stopped looking me in the eye." She stared at me, realization dawning like a slow, cruel sunrise. Then she laughed, bitter and hollow. "You never loved me." I stepped closer. I did. That's what made the betrayal worth avenging. And then I turned, leaving her standing on the deck of a house she no longer owned in a life that no longer existed. It's strange how silence feels louder after justice. People think revenge is about rage. It's not. It's about precision, about letting the truth cut deeper than any blade ever could. Susan once told me that power was control over people. She was wrong. Power is control over outcomes. And when the smoke cleared, I didn't just walk away richer. I walked away clean. She became a cautionary tale whispered among her circles, a woman who married the wrong man. But I wasn't the wrong man. I was the inevitable one. Now, sometimes, when I drive past her old office, now shuttered, her name scraped off the glass, I think about that day in the lawyer's office. Her voice, sharp and sure. "Just sign it," she demanded. And I smile, because she never realized she was the one signing my plan.